What's up, my man? How we feeling?
Pretty good, Jimmy. How you doing?
I'm doing great, my man. I can't see you yet. I can hear you. Oh, there he is.
There we
The man,
go.
the myth, the legend. There he is, my man.
Sweet, there we go. Okay.
Where are you calling me from today?
From home. I'm working from home today. So I
Nice.
just found some time during my schedule to hop on this call. So
Man, awesome. I appreciate you making some time to be flexible and hear what we got to talk about today.
of course, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, what is it that you do? Where do you want to be at? What's the biggest challenge?
Yeah. So right now I'm working in IT support, right? So fixing computers, working with end users with software issues, hardware issues, stuff like that. But personally, I don't find the work all that fulfilling, right? There's that, and the other side to it is the pay, right? There's a hourly. I'm on an hourly wage, right? So there isn't really that much room for sort of being rewarded for the amount of effort I put in, right? Because everyone on my team is being paid pretty much the same. So if I work just as hard as they are, or harder, or less than them, like I'm still being paid the same thing. And I kind of want something where my effort, like if I put in like a certain amount of effort, I want to get that result back, right? And just having that feeling of being financially free, not being tied down to one particular location or having a boss, and just doing something that's more fulfilling, right? So like helping people on their fitness journey sounds like something that I would enjoy. I'm personally into fitness myself, so I already have that going for me. So that's sort of where I want to be.
Cool, man. I love it. So how long have you been in IT for now?
3 years.
3 years. Okay. So we're in a position, pays the bills right now, but we're not happy with it. We would rather have
That's right.
something where our income matches the level of effort that we're putting out. Right now, you're kind of getting paid, whether someone's working kind of hard and you're working really hard, it all averages out the same. We don't like that. And then more
Exactly.
importantly, we want to have something that we're truly passionate about that gives us flexibility, financial freedom, and we don't got to answer anybody. Is that about right?
100%. Yeah, that's right.
Right, cool. We're on a good start so far. Now, do you have any current certifications or anything like that?
Um, no, I do not. I do have an associate's degree in cybersecurity technology, but that's about it as far as any certifications to my name. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's not a problem. A lot of people come to us with no certifications. We actually solve that problem because we offer a certification within our course at no additional charge. So it teaches
Oh
you how
wow,
to
okay.
it teaches you how to become a coach on the online space so you feel qualified, you feel more reputable, and you feel like you have a better indication on how to give recommendations and when to. So that'll
Okay.
all be taken care of for you. Now, as far as what we need to replace your current income, what does that look like?
So right now, I want to say, let me just pull up the calculator real quick.
Yeah.
Let's see, 21, 22. So right now, if I work pretty much every day, like every weekday, we do have days off, right? Holidays, and we don't get paid for those, unfortunately.
Man.
But in a perfect world, I would be making 43,680 a year. So if I divide that by 12, about 3,640 monthly
Cool. So
before
that's easy.
taxes. Yeah.
Let me give you some context behind that. Let me give you some array of hope already within the first
All
two
right.
minutes of the phone call. All right. Industry averages anywhere between 250 on the very low end to 500 per month on the upper end. So let's say you're feeling really confident. We start narrowing down like the pain points of who you're trying to service, right? Let's just say you're charging roughly around $400 per client. Okay. That's not terribly high. Okay. But it's on the upper end. So let's think about this. If you had just 10 clients, that's 4K right there. So you're already beating what you would be making. Now,
Yeah.
this is where it gets really fun. If you had 25 clients, you're hitting 10K, which would be 120K a year, which means you're over doubling what you're currently making a year,
Right.
right?
Oh yeah.
So I see the smile on your face. It's like, hell yeah, you're already feeling this, right?
Of course, 100%. That sounds awesome.
Cool. So now that you know that averages, we know what you need to make to replace your income, but what do we need to, what would we like to see ourselves make best case scenario, like moving forward now that you know the averages?
I think uh, short term, definitely, I do want to get in that 10K a month range, to the point where I would be satisfied. And I mean, once I get there, I probably am gonna be shooting for something higher. But 20K a month sounds very appealing to me.
Yeah, love it, man.
Yeah.
Let's do that. I'm with that. Cool. So what do you feel like, well, before I even move into that question, you mentioned a huge thing like financial freedom, right? What
Yeah.
does financial freedom look and feel like to you?
Pretty much not having to worry about bills at all, right? Um, Financial freedom to me doesn't mean, buying the most luxurious things, clothing, cars, stuff like that. It's just, living to the point where I don't have to worry about, medical bills if things come up. Um, just paying regular, utility bills, stuff like that, rent. To me, that's financial freedom. Being able to afford all that without having to depend on somebody else, like a boss. Just making that sort of money on my own terms. That's what
I like
financial
that.
freedom looks to me.
So essentially being prepared for the unprepared at all points in times.
Exactly.
I got you, my man. I got you. Cool. So what do you feel like the biggest challenge is to get this thing up and running?
It's just having the knowledge. I've been doing a lot of research on, how to generate income online. And a lot of the things that I've run into is people talking about building a personal brand. And with doing that, obviously you need to provide some sort of value to an audience. And that value is sort of where I'm kind of hitting a wall at, right? Like I'm not sure exactly what to provide, what people find valuable. So just getting that information, that's where I'm stuck.
So we handle that as well because you would have an assigned one-on-one coach the entire duration of your course. Okay. So this is going to be someone that's going to help guide you. And it's not just some random person we pair you with. It's someone that's actually completed both our certified coach program and our mastery level. So they have a 6 or 7 figure business of their own and they're massively successful. So this is someone that's going to be able to help guide you kind of figure out who do we really want to, market to, what's going to be their pain points, and how do we get sustainable, consistent clientele. Cool.
Yep. Sounds
All
good.
right. Cool, my man. Now, let me just ask you a question. Let's just say on a hypothetical, nothing much changes. You still got this job that you've had for the last 3 years, but you're not feeling 100% fulfilled. What would the next 6 to 12 months of your life look like if you didn't move forward with something different?
So, if I see everything as far as like the courses and the coaching calls and all that, if I see that it's something that if I just put enough time and effort into will eventually work, I'll just stick with it because jumping from business model to business model to each shiny object, it's just gonna prolong that outcome, right?
Yeah.
Which is gonna keep delaying it. So I just need to focus in on one thing, do it for however long it takes, and yeah, I'll just keep doing it until it works out.
So you feel like you're going to be pretty committed to wanting to become an online coach. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's correct. Yeah.
I like it, man. Cool. So let me ask you this. Like you mentioned earlier, you don't want to have to worry about anything, less worry, less stress. Where you're at currently right now with your job and with where you're at with your current circumstance, from a level of 1 to 10, 1 being like, this is nothing, and 10 being like, oh my God, get me out of here. What level of stress are you at currently?
I want to say it's definitely around the level 6 or 7. It's not so much on the financial side, it's more so on the fulfillment side, right? I just feel like I'm wasting my life away at this job, and the thought of staying stuck in there or at any other 9 to 5 for the rest of my life just completely freaks me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at with that.
100%. It's like that does. I've been where you're at. I've worked for corporate companies, and you're right. Like that feeling of like, oh my God, I'm in quicksand. Every time I move forward or I try to move faster, I keep on sinking further and further into like what they want versus what I want, right?
Exactly.
So are you at a point now to where you're no longer willing to settle?
Yeah.
He said, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, cool, man. So what do you feel like you need from like a mentor or a coach to be successful?
Let me think about that. Let's see. I think the one thing that really does motivate me is just seeing a track record, right? Seeing that the steps I'm being given work for someone else, and that just completely motivates me, right? Because I'm the type of person to think if somebody else can do it, why couldn't I do it, right? So just seeing like a track record, seeing success stories and stuff like that, and just being 100% convinced that the exact steps I'm following, they followed and they got to where I want to be at. Does that make
100%.
sense?
Yeah. So you're looking for like a blueprint that's been followed. It's been time tested. It's battle tested. And so is the individual that's telling you how to do it. Correct.
Correct.
I got it, man. So I'm about to get you super excited on this now. Let me ask you this
Okay.
question. Do you feel like you're average or above average as far as like effort, enthusiasm, coachability? Like what type of individual do you feel like you most fall in?
I definitely do feel like I'm above average when it comes to that. If I'm given, I mean, even I guess at work too, if I'm given a task or told to follow like certain steps to achieve an outcome, like, I'm going to do it, right? Especially if it's something I want to achieve.
Dude, 100%. So let me tell you this. The average student, just doing the basic stuff that we're asking them to do, is making anywhere between 6,500 to 8K per month, the average. So think about this. If you don't consider yourself average and you're willing to do more than just what's expected of you or exceed the standard, how much money do you think you could make? Like, right? Like you are above average. You could easily exceed that 8 to 10 to 12K a month, right?
Yeah.
All right, man. We're in a good spot. He's already getting hyped. He's smiling, man. This is a good spot. Cool, man. So it sounds, again, I'm just gonna do a quick little recap. It sounds like the main thing that we're fishing for is fulfillment. Like you're good at what you do, but there's no fulfillment behind it. So it's almost like you feel numb going to work day in and day out, right?
Yeah.
We're also looking for a little bit of financial freedom, something that doesn't just pay the bills and checks off the boxes, but something that's going to provide us flexibility where we don't got to work for anyone else. It's going to provide us more happiness, more opportunities to do what we want when we want without having to answer to anybody else, essentially. Our goal is anywhere between starting off 10K, but we want to scale that 20K mark. Okay. And then again, that financial freedom is being prepared for the unexpected and not ever having to worry or bat an eye. Like, hey, this is what it is. Cool. Here's a check. It's nothing, right?
100%. Exactly.
And we're looking for an individual like, I've been in your shoes. I know what it takes to get you to that next level. Here's your game plan. Follow this, and boom, you'll see the promised land. Is that about right?
That's right. That's
all right, my man.
exactly
Cool.
right.
We're in a super great spot. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go over a brief presentation, and then we're going to actually dive into everything, all in LCA, so you get to see the ins and outs of our program. After that, if you're like, yes, this is exactly what I want, we'll talk about it. If you're like, I don't like this shit at all, cool. I'll send you off some free resources.
Okay.
Cool. All right, my man.
Okay, sounds good.
Let's buckle in. Let's have a little fun today. All right, let me know when you can see our screen.
Yep, I can see it.
Boom. All right, so we are the Next Level Coaching Academy. This is a pretty big deal. We're actually accredited through the Better Business Bureau. We got a rating of an A out of a possible A+. So when people are trying to figure out who's legitimate in this space, this solidifies it. We're also backed by 3 of the biggest certification companies in the fitness industry, ACE, NASM, and ISSA. Now, on the success ladder, we have 2 tiers. We have certified coach, we've got mastery level. Now, certified coach is great for an individual such as yourself who's looking to transition from that 9 to 5. They want to fulfill their passion. They're looking to get certified, and they want to create an online presence. The information in this course can get us from 0 up to 20K per month in as little as 6 months if you put the work in. Okay. Now, mastery levels for individuals that are already at 20K, they've been coaching for a long time, and they're trying to get to that 7-figure mark. They're kind of removing themselves from the coaching aspect and becoming more of a CEO of their own program, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Okay.
So where we're currently at, we're going to focus on this, but I can totally see you here in the next 6-7 months jumping up to this bad boy pretty easy. All right. The program itself is going to be 6 months long. Our main focal point is to get you a successful, thriving business off the ground, but we're going to teach you to become a master at marketing so we can get sustainable clientele, which is going to give us sustainable income. Then we're going to teach you how to make your first couple hires so we keep on scaling to those next levels. As far as support goes, I mentioned this earlier, you will have an individual that is completely battle tested. They completed certified and mastery level. They have a 6 or 7 figure business. They're massively successful. They know what it takes to get you from where you want to be or where you're at to where you want to be. And they'll go over that within your game planning calls to figure out the most efficient way to get you there. Every 2 weeks, you're going to have Zoom calls very similar to this. Revisit the game plan, make changes, receive feedback, and you'll get instructions on exactly what you need to execute for the following weeks. Outside of that, 5 times a week of group support calls that accommodate your 9 to 5. So this will go over client objection handling, sales, marketing, lead generation, you name it, we deep dive into it. You'll have 24/5 tech support with your coach. So outside of those game planning calls, you can text them as much as you like. They'll answer all of your questions. You can share wins. They love that. Okay. Use this resource to your fullest. We also understand that becoming an entrepreneur, it's exciting, but man, there are times where it is overwhelming. So we created what we call the Zenpreneur method. We help with weekly mindset calls. We do breath work and meditation sessions to ensure you're in a good headspace to move forward with your business. As far as the resources go, you're going to have that certified coach course curriculum. You'll have that Zenpreneur method we just discussed. We'll give you agency outsourcing options when you're ready to make specific hires or upgrade certain levels of your programming. And we'll even give you the online certification as well, as mentioned earlier. Any questions on that?
Everything looks good.
I love it.
I'm
cool.
liking it.
All right. Let me get us back to, there we go. Thought I had this already pulled up. Let me get back to this. This is going to be the actual module I'm showing you. So everything I'm showing you is our actual course, okay? There's going to be a total of 59 modules. Each module will have an overview link for you to read, and it'll be accompanied with videos, like very tutorial style, okay? The first thing we want to do is get you your first client in 21 days or less. This is what we call our activation point. All right, so right now, 73% of our students get their client in month 1. On average, it's taking them 1 week. So the ones that get their first client in month 1, by the end of month 4, are averaging $8K per month. So we're doubling that, okay? Now, the individuals that don't get their first client in month 1, by the end of month 4, they're still averaging $6,500. So pretty damn good money to be just an average person, right?
Yep.
From there, we have the Certified Coach Course Directory. I want you to view this as onboarding material that'll help you become a better student. It really shows you how to maximize the program. Now, the roadmap is pretty awesome. It shows you exactly what you need to execute to get to certain levels of achievement. So from 0 to 5K, what's expected, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. They all come with detailed videos as well, so you always know what's coming up next. Certification aspect is equal parts nutrition, equal parts fitness. So you got your basics, your micros, your macros, how to build a healthy plate, how to eat for losing weight, things of that nature. Then we move into hot topics on social media, such as reverse dieting. And then another really cool one is blood work, supplementation, and hormones, which is all over Instagram right now. And then the second half, the second half of it is like the art of coaching, program design, programming variables. There would be a final test. The test is 77 questions long. You got to get an 80% or better. It's open book. You can take it as many times as you like. There's no time. And then once you pass, you'll get an email sent directly to you. Any questions on that?
Nope, not right now.
Perfect, man. Let's keep this party rolling. We're going to move into the NLCA mindset and lifestyle module. This is just essentially stating, hey, you're going to have imposter syndrome. There might be fear. There might be anxiety. Those are all natural, normal feelings, but how can we move forward with our business? Then we move into the top 10 struggles that you'll most likely face as becoming a fitness entrepreneur, but we've provided those solutions for you. Target setting, we're going to create your 3-year vision, your 1-year vision, your 3-month vision. We're going to deep dive into your goals. Administration systems will be all the software you need to run from home. So Wave or Stripe to collect payments, DocuSign for client agreements, Typeform accounting to book calls. We even have applications that you can utilize to upload all of your programming and all of your nutrition into one spot for all of your clients. To give you some context on the overview links, each module will have one of these. You just click on here, and this will give you like a tutorial written style format. So it shows you exactly what you need to do, okay? Now the video itself, you click on this, let's pretend that you're gonna set up Wave for payments. This will be tutorial style as well. So it's step by step. There's zero guesswork. You know exactly what to do. It's really, to be honest with you, I can do it. Anyone can do it. It's like a course. It's dummy proof, essentially. Okay.
Yeah.
The same thing for financial systems, man. We're going to help you set up your LLC. We're going to get your employment identification number. We're going to teach you when to open up business bank accounts, when to pay quarterly taxes, when to pay yourself, liability insurance, health insurance, retirement, you name it. We talk about that in this module here. Then we're going to move into identifying your ideal challenge. This basically means, what problem does your program solve for individuals? Now, once we can narrow that down, then we can create our offer and pricing. So this is where we start understanding our value. Is it going to be more do it for you, do it with you, or do it yourself type of program? The more that you do for an individual, the higher the ticket offer, which will be established upon your length of terms. So we'll help create high ticket offers. We'll help structure your pricing, and we'll even teach you how to create downsells and discounts when applicable. Marketing overview is where a lot of people struggle at. So we're going to give you 8 different lessons to really maximize your marketing capabilities, because we're going to show you how to market on an organic basis for all things Instagram. We're going to show you how to market for all things Facebook, and we'll even teach you how to market for everyone's new favorite, TikTok. Okay. Have you ever heard of Canva?
Yes.
So we have a whole module on how to maximize this and how to make your content look more professionalized. Gives that more of like an aesthetic pleasing look to your page.
Okay.
From there, we're going to move into lead generation. We believe there's 6 different ways to create leads. The first of which is what we call earned media. I want you to think of this as like inbound marketing. We're going to give you 11 strategies to bring more people specifically to you. From there, we got conversation and calls. This is outbound marketing. This is you reaching out to individuals first. We'll give you scripts. We're going to give you conversation and call examples, but more importantly, we're going to show you where to find all these leads on all 3 platforms and how to build and nurture these relationships. Referral strategies is the easiest way to grow your business. Friends, families, coworkers, talking about how amazing you are and the results that you've been giving them. We're going to give you 6 different lessons to incentivize more people to bring you more referrals. Now, when you're hitting about 6K per month on a regular basis, we're going to teach you how to break down an appointment setter. This would be the individual that does all of your DMing and booking all of your calls for you. So we'll show you how to hire them. We'll show you how to manage them on a day-to-day basis. And we'll even give you resources on how to track their level of efficiency as well. Make sure they're doing their job. Kind of your first taste of being a boss over somebody.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, when you're running about 8 to 10K per month, we're going to teach you how to run ads on Facebook and Instagram. So this is where your business starts really taking off, and this is where you get a lot of leads. So also how you get to be known internationally. From there, we have owned media. This is all things email or subscription-based marketing. So this is going to be right up your alley. You know all about this type of stuff. So Facebook, podcasts, anything that involves a subscription or an email, this is how we're going to maximize it.
Okay.
Certified coach affiliate strategy. At this point in time, you have quite a few clients, but you'll have a handful that you consider like your rock star A+ students. So we want to incentivize them to post on their social media about you to bring in more brand awareness. We also want to use a couple of these people as brand ambassadors to talk about their testimonies on the results they got from you. Another example that I provide individuals, if you want to think outside of the box, I'm partnered with a local supplement company out here, and I have my clients on specific supplementation. That company in return gives me massive discounts and 30 referrals a month because I'm supporting their business. So it's a very easy way for me to get warm leads all the time.
Yeah. And they just got to do all.
How to partner up with supplement companies or just other companies like that in general?
Yeah, they'll give you like processes and procedures. Now, for me, I think outside of the box. So I'm always going to my local community. Like for instance, my wife, she's a nurse. She works in the healthcare field. Healthcare people are like some of the most unhealthiest people you'll ever run into in your life. So I have kind of like an easy in because they all know her. So I'll do like free seminars. I'll get a ton of referrals off that. So I'm really utilizing everything that people that already know me or my family. I'm utilizing that as well to like maximize my profit.
Okay.
So they'll give you a ton of different strategies. Sales overview and fundamentals. If you're going to be an entrepreneur, guess what? You got to be good at sales and you got to learn to love it, because this is like your livelihood right here. So we're going to give you 10 different lessons to really maximize your sales capabilities, because we're going to set up 2 types of phone calls. The first is a meet and greet, 10 to 15 minute phone call to figure out, do I even want to work with this person? Can I actually solve their problem? They're looking at you like, is this guy really going to be the person that's going to get me to my goals in the time frame that I want? We're going to give you confirmation processes, and we're going to give you real-time examples with our coaches. Then next, we lead into the closing call. We're trying to lock down this lead. We're following up the leads that haven't closed. We're doing a lot of objection handling. Okay, so we'll give you specific scripts. We'll give you our entire objection handling web. We'll teach you how to create downsells and discounts. This will be massive. Creating financing options for people who normally couldn't afford it. And then we even have follow-up procedures and again, how to lock down that lead. From there, once you make the sale, we want to track your progress. We want to make sure there's predictable data each month. So we give you our resources on how to do that. The onboarding process is like the transition from the sales call to now they're your client. You got their money, you're building out their program. What happens in the meantime? Kind of like their first 30 days in your program.
Right.
And then client delivery is the fun stuff, the week-to-week process and how you deliver services, making sure you're keeping everything smooth, easy, and efficient, and able for them to understand. Huge part of this communication. This will happen to you no matter how long you've been coaching. Someone's going to quit. They're going to ghost you. They're not going to listen. How can we incentivize them to execute at a very high level? Oftentimes when people are doing stuff like this, they want a larger community. They want more touch points with you. They want to be involved in challenges, or they want to be incentivized for stuff that's already expected of them. Human nature, right? So we'll give you resources and strategies for that as well. From there, we have the customer support module. This is like the not so fun side of things, cancellations, refund requests. How can we mitigate these issues for the upcoming months? Now, if done correctly, this will lead to massive referrals for you by the way you treat people. Okay? From there, we move into the retention module. So we want to keep people for long periods of time, but we want to advance them to higher levels of your programming. We'll teach you retention strategies and we'll even teach you how to track them. Now, when you're hitting 10 to 12K per month on a regular basis, we're going to bring on a virtual assistant. This will be the person that does all of your back-end administration work for you. So we show you how to hire them. We show you how to manage them on a day-to-day basis. And we even give you our resources on where to find them if and when you want to make that hire.
Okay.
Now, for you to get past that 20K mark, that's what our goal is, right? When you're hitting about 12 to 15K, we need to think about bringing on your first assistant coach. This will be the individual that works directly underneath you. They take on their own clients, but you get paid a portion of that. So whoever you interview and bring on, it's essential that they match your morals and values and characteristics because they're representing you. Okay? So we're going to teach you how to hire them, how to manage them on a day-to-day basis, but more importantly, how to keep them in line with your company vision, because that's what really matters. I did a ton of talking. We're going to do a quick recap. We'll answer any questions you got. All right. Program itself is 6 months long. You're going to have your customized game planning call. You'll have that private one-on-one coach the entire 6 months. You'll have one-on-one coaching calls every 2 weeks. You'll have the Facebook community and CEO trainings, 5 times a week of group support calls. You'll have 24/5 tech support. You'll have the certification, and you'll have the business course curriculum. Is there anything you feel like we're missing here?
I'm just looking at the certifications here. So as far as like service delivery for the clients, right? So is this mostly like a would it be like a weight loss program or like a muscle building program? Do you know where I'm getting at?
Yep, it's going to be based upon the individual's needs. So
Okay.
for instance, when we go through the certification aspect, we'll show you how to program, how to create customized meal plans, with recommendations. You can't prescribe someone an exact meal plan unless you're a registered dietitian, but it gives you those resources to provide, general guidelines for them. And then based upon, so say for instance, if you were trying to if I was going to buy you for coaching, I say, hey man, I want to put on 5 to 10 pounds of lean muscle mass, You're going to create a program based upon my unique goals. Okay. So it's not just one thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Cool. So then as you create that program, I'm essentially paying for your coaching advice. So that means I want like weekly check-ins, Zoom calls, things of that nature. So we're establishing a connection. You might be offering weekly check-ins. You might have spreadsheets that I fill out to track my weight, my stress levels, my sleep, things of that nature. So the more that you can provide for an individual, we want to provide as much value as possible, as you mentioned earlier. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does.
Cool. What questions do you have for me?
I think that's about it. Yeah.
Cool. Did you get a chance to check out any testimonials?
I didn't actually. I kind of scrolled through them, but yeah, I didn't get the chance to watch the videos and all that stuff.
I'm going to show you just a couple. Okay. So Charlotte, I consider her like a top 10%er. She was an in-person trainer making 40K a year. After 6 months, she contracted over 200K, and now she's making 70K a month. So she was someone that was kind of like you, wanted to get out of her job, and she wanted to create massive impact, but she wanted the money for her effort, and that's exactly what she got. She went balls to the wall on this thing.
Really?
Now, Karina, she's going to be more like your everyday person. She was making about, her goal was she wanted to travel and be with her 2 kids. That was her main goal. She didn't want a massive empire. So this first tattoo indicates when she started NLCA. Bottom tattoo indicates when she quit her job. After 6 months, she was hitting 10 to 12K a month. Now she's 15K months, and she's only working 30 to 35 hours per week. So she's living her best life, traveling, and she makes really, really good money, right?
Yeah.
One woman show. Okay. Averages go. I talked to you about this. This is huge. This is why I'm bringing this up to you. In an average of 10.6 weeks, people are quitting their full-time job to go full-time with their online fitness business. Think about that, man. We could have you out of here in just over 2 months, even sooner if you're not an average person, right?
Right. Yeah.
Now, this is huge too. Of the students who stay with us 12 months, they have 97 clients on their roster on average. If you had 97 clients and you're charging around $400 per person, that's $38,000 a month. That's insane.
That is insane. That's pretty crazy.
Now, if you have 97 clients, you better have an assistant coach because that's gonna wear you down.
Yeah.
Now, the program is getting scored a 4.5 out of 5 on average, which means people are getting massive results for their respectful businesses. Any questions on the averages?
No questions at this time.
Do you feel like you're an average person? I'm gonna ask you again now that you got to see these numbers.
No.
Let's go. Awesome, man. All right, so next we're going to move into, I'm not sure if I got to text it to you today. I meant to. If I didn't, I apologize. Did you get to see the 2 guarantees?
Let's see. Yeah, I think I've seen them on the website. The make 3 times your investment.
That's one of them. Yeah.
And then if you don't hit 8K a month in your first 90 days, 25% of your contract will be refunded. That's
yes.
Right.
Those are massive.
A little bit further detail?
Yes, 100%. So a lot of people will offer money back guarantees, right? We actually offer money back guarantees, and you're going to make a certain amount of money, which no one else offers. So the first one we're going to talk about is the revenue guarantee. Okay, so get an 8K month in your first 90 days, or 25% of your contract will be refunded. So terms and conditions. Obviously, we got to try a little bit, right? We got to attend our game planning call, complete all of our one-on-one calls with our coaches, at least 2 group calls per week, complete the action how to get your first client 21 days module and all the actions associated with it, charge at least a minimum of $300 per services, 50% of your course material completed and no late payments. Pretty basic stuff, right?
Yeah.
So essentially, if you just show up, you do what you're supposed to, guidelines and our support, we guarantee in month 1, 2, or 3, you're going to hit an 8K month, which is life-changing for the majority of individuals. Yeah. Not a lot of people can say they can start somewhere brand new, have 0 experience, and earn an 8K within their first 90 days of work. That's huge.
Yeah.
Right. Second one is 3 times your investment guarantee. Terms and conditions are pretty much the same. Besides, you have to complete 100% of your course material, bare minimum suggested prices, attend at least 2 group calls per week, and then attend at least 2 one-on-one coaching calls per month, which is, again, just standards, right? So if you can do the basic stuff, you're going to have 3 times what this course is worth, which is crazy. Okay. Or you get a full refund. So if you do, the worst case scenario is you do everything we ask you to do and it doesn't work, you get your money back. Pretty simple.
Yeah.
Does those guarantees make you feel a little bit more confident?
Yes, they do. 100%.
Awesome. So we're about to move into the investment portion, and we're going to figure out what's this thing going to cost us, right? Now, there's going to be a payment plan option. There's going to be a paid in full option. Okay, so payment plan means we put a down payment down. We spread it out over 6 months, so we can have a larger down payment, less reoccurring, lower payment, higher reoccurring, or we could just pay this thing off in front. You're going to save a certain amount of money. Now, the cool thing about this is if neither of those work for you, we have extended payment plans and financing options. So depending on how much of a priority this is for you, if this is something that you really, truly want, finance is probably the easiest thing for me to work around. Easy. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, before we move forward, I kind of want you to give me a reminder as to what online coaching will do for you specifically.
So it's from what you've been telling me, seeing all these courses, the averages, it's going to give me something that I actually feel passionate about doing, something that's more fulfilling. Because with my job, like I said earlier, it's almost soul crushing, right? How unfulfilled I feel with it. So This is definitely going to give me that. It's going to give me the financial freedom that I've been looking for, right? Not having to worry about bills, emergencies, stuff like that. So yeah, fulfillment and freedom.
I love it, man. Man, you just said something massive. You said soul crushing, brother. That is deep. We got to get you out for that, right? We can't have that anymore, man.
Yeah,
we can't have that.
That's
Cool.
right.
So let's talk about it. All right, hold your breath. Here comes everyone's favorite part, the investment piece. All right, it's only $100,000 in your left kidney. I'm just playing. There's a payment plan of $7,500. There's a paid in full option that saves you $700 at $6,800.
Okay.
Out of those two, which do you think would work best for you?
Probably the payment plan. Yeah.
Cool. That's what 95% of our students do, right? That's what I did. I didn't have $7,000 laying around in the sock drawer to fork over, right? So we have a couple different options. What the average student will do is they'll put down about $2,000. Okay. If you do that, it turns out payment from $7,500 into $5,500. Divide that over 6 months. Your monthly payment would be about $917 per month, which is equivalent to you needing 3 to 5 clients per month, depending on what you're charging. Pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Is that something we feel like we can commit to?
$2,000 down payment? Probably not.
No problem.
Not this time. Yeah.
So that's not a problem. Let's pause for a second. So again, we just started off to kind of see what we had available. We're going to talk about all that though. But first, let me ask you a couple questions. Do you feel like this course gives you everything you need to be successful?
Yeah, seems like it.
Do you feel like this course is going to get you the results you want?
Yeah.
Are you 100% confident in your own skills and ability to follow through?
Yeah, when it comes to that, yeah.
Awesome. So all it comes down to is literally a financial obligation, right?
That's right.
Cool. So if we can get resourceful, which means put our heads together and figure out something that makes sense for you, is this something you probably want to move forward with today?
Yes, 100%.
Cool. Let's talk about it. All right. So we already know right now, 2000's like, Jeremy, no, you're out of your damn mind. No, we're not doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
So another option that we could do, let me ask you this. How good's your credit? Good, bad, great, shitty? What does it look like?
I think it's good. I have good credit. Yeah.
Okay. So this is awesome. We have a couple different options. One, we have a partner called Fund My Contract. They are amazing. What this allows us to do is get that paid in full option, but broken down into payment plans. And the best thing about this is it's very manageable. So it's anywhere between it could be anywhere between like months to 7 years of payments, what payment plan you choose. Now, the cool thing about this is they have a 6 or 12 month same as cash option, which means we pay this program off before 6 or 12 months, 0 interest. Okay. So lines up perfectly with the guarantees. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to fill this bad boy out together. Is that cool?
Okay. Yeah.
It's a soft credit check. It won't affect your credit. We just got to figure out what we're going to get approved for. Cool.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good.
Cool. All right. So we're going to do this together. I'm going to send this to you, and it takes about 2 minutes to figure out what we get approved for.
Okay.
Oops. Started abbreviating it. There we go. You got any big plans today?
Today, at around 5:30, I'm going to try out the Muay Thai gym.
Okay.
See how that's going. So, yeah, looking forward to that. What about you?
Man, I've been I'm out here in the Midwest, so I've been up since about 3:30. I get up and do my workout super early. I'm old, so that's what old people do. We get up early for no reason. We go work out and then we go to bed at like 8 o'clock.
Gotcha.
So that's what we do. I got 5 kids, man. So after work, it's all about them.
100%. I respect that.
What's a good email address for you, my man?
It's Javi, so Javi Bustos. No ER.
Okay.
Just so yeah. And then Bustos, so B as in boy, US, TOS, 1999 at gmail.com.
Cool. So this is awesome because we're going to be able to save you that $700. We're going to figure out if you get approved for this. So
Yeah.
one of these will have like a really good offer to get approved for. If it doesn't, we have a backup plan, but this is like the best option right here. What is going on here? It's asking me to refresh again. There we go. Check your email, my man.
Okay. Let's see.
What sports did you play growing up?
I played soccer during like my elementary years, right? So like from 2nd to 5th grade.
Yeah.
That's about it though.
Okay.
Yeah.
My wife is a soccer fiend. She's a soccer nut. So crazy story is I rented out a whole semi-pro soccer stadium during COVID and proposed to her at midfield, man. That's because I knew that was like her thing.
Yeah. That's amazing. No way.
Yeah. So I had my family, because she knows I wouldn't do anything like that without my family or her family being present. So she had no idea. I hit them in the stands. And then when she turned around, when she turned around, they all flooded the field. So it was a dope. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it sounds awesome.
That's how I had to seal the deal, man. Like she married up, I married up, she married down. I had to pull out all the stops.
Oh yeah. That's amazing. It's loading here. I hit the fly now button. Let's see if it comes up here.
Cool. You did get the email though?
Yeah, I got the email. Let me try it on my computer. Let's see.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just this site itself, because like I just clicked out of it and tried to re-click in, and it's like running kind of slow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not really loading at all. I'm getting some emails though.
Yeah, like it sent like 3 of them. Like I'm like, dude, why is this sending 3? Why does he get 3 emails?
Yeah. Let's see. Let's try this one.
Working for you yet?
No, it doesn't look like it. I wonder if the website's having issues.
It might be. Cool. So let's just pause on that one for a second. I got another
Okay.
option for us. That's going to be, we'll go back to that one. Do you have a PayPal account?
I do.
Cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to paypal.com/credit. And this one is a soft credit check as well. It won't affect your credit to see what you get approved for. But what we're going to do is we're going to apply for a line of credit, not a credit card. But if you get approved, it's 6% interest free, or I'm sorry, it's 6 months interest free. So we pay this thing off beforehand. You are not paying any interest. But we're going to see what we get approved for. I had a guy the other day that got approved for like $7,000. So we just paid the whole damn thing
Oh.
off. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Let me apply.
I'm gonna send a text to these guys because this that website is having problems. All right. Are you into PayPal yet?
Yeah, I'm doing the application now.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Looks like I was approved for $3,000.
Boom. What? Let's go. Okay, so if you see me looking down, by the way, I'm old school. I take notes on a pen and a pad. I'm not like these young guys that can take notes on a computer. I'm not that smart yet. So check this out. This is what we could do. What we could do is we could take that 3K, we could put it toward that paid in full amount. Okay. And then I'd give you 90 days to pay out that second half. So that way you save the $700. You have ample amount of time to get your 2 guarantees in place and you build your confidence. What do you think?
It's definitely a large amount. I mean, I barely have 5K to my name, you know. I'm not doing too hot in the financial department. So you know, putting over my current I guess you could call it net worth into something like this. It's definitely daunting. I'll tell you that. You know,
Yeah,
I feel like I would need some time to think about it for sure.
it should
So I can
feel like
reflect
that.
on myself. Yeah.
It should feel like that because this is a huge decision, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. I got one person I've been texting about this, that previous page, but we're going to go back to that here in a second once they get a hold of me.
Okay.
It says right now, I can't get into the login page, trying to load messaging Scott. So we got people on the back end trying to fix this. So another option that we could do, okay, I want you to think about this. We have 3K approved, okay? So what we could do, this just popped in my head. Let me see what you think about this. And let me know if it makes sense, because in my head, it makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
So we start off with the payment plan. Okay. We put 1,000 down a day. Okay. Hypothetically. Then in May 17th, we put down another 1,000. Then in June, we put down another 1,000. And then before your July payment, you should have hit your 90-day guarantee. If you do, I'll give you the option of paying the paid in full amount, the remaining left over in the paid in full amount. So that way you're still saving $700. You're having to put less down. Okay. And then if you hit the guarantee, you just pay the whole thing off, the remaining off. Now, if you don't, we're just going to finish off the payment plan like normal. It's no big deal, month to month. What do you feel about that?
That does sound a lot better. But I do think, I don't think I could make that decision right now. You know, I would need a couple of days to think it over for sure.
Cool. So let's
And
talk
it's
about
not something I'm just gonna let gloss over because I have been looking into entrepreneurship for a while now. So it's not
Yeah.
just gonna leave my head. I'm definitely gonna think it over, but yeah, I'm not sure I can make that decision right now.
Cool. Let me ask you this. Let's take moving forward off the table and let's just ask some questions. Cool.
Okay.
If you did have the money or if it was already provided for you, would this be something that you'd want to move forward with?
Yes.
Cool. So do you feel like this is in complete alignment with what you're trying to do? Like you'll give it a sense of fulfillment, it'll feel good, it'll get you financially free.
Correct. Yeah, I do.
Now, do you feel 100% confident with the 2 guarantees in place?
Yes.
So the only way, is it safe to say the only way that this would not work is if you just didn't do the work?
Yeah, probably.
Cool. So let's see what these guys have to say. I'm getting a text back because I want to see if we can get this approved. See if we can get him back in here. Let me go back to the fund my contract, but this is what I want you to think about too. If right now, if we're in a spot of a 6 to 7 stress level, is that where we're currently at?
Yeah.
Okay. And right now, the key word that you threw at me is soul crushing.
Yeah.
So do you feel like a small investment where you're guaranteed the worst that's going to happen is you're going to get a refund if you do the work? That's the worst. So is that really a risk or a major decision?
The thing I'm worried about is, life is very unpredictable, right? Like I could get in a car crash tomorrow, and now I'm stuck with all this debt, and I'm still in debt with other things, right? I still have a car payment. So whenever it comes to making big financial decisions, even with that car, I still kind of regret it. I do want to make it sort of like, I don't want it to be a factor in my life, right? Like if I have the money, or if I know for sure that the money gonna come in, then I'm much more comfortable making big purchases. But like I said, life is very unpredictable, and I just don't want to, for there to be a day, God forbid, that something happens to either me or my family, and I can't give this all my attention. You know what I mean? So that's really what I'm
100%.
worried about.
Cool. So let's talk about what you're worried about. Makes sense, right? Now, God forbid, we don't want anything happen to you. We don't want you to be in a car accident. But
Yeah.
on the flip side, the cool thing about this is you can work it from a hospital bed or a chair or wherever, right? Like you don't have to be mobile for this to work for you, right? The second thing is you mentioned like if the finances weren't to come in, the only way they're not coming in is if you just don't do the work, right? We've already mentioned the average guarantee. So like the average client's making $6,500 to $8K a month, which is right now is significantly more than what we're currently making doing more than average work, right? So are you getting to that point where you're like, man, this does make a lot of sense. I don't want to just make 3,600 versus when I could be making 65 to 8K starting off and then getting to that 10 to 15K a month stuff.
Yeah. Like I said, all of this stuff does seem appealing, 100%. It's just, making that decision right now, like right this second, I don't want to get off the call and then instantly regret it. You know what I mean?
100%.
So I definitely do need some time to think it over.
Let me ask you this. If we're able to get that Fund My Contract in, the cool thing about this, yeah, for sure. So like, as you mentioned, life is completely unpredictable. So we can flip this opposite way. Let's say that you did move forward. Okay, not necessarily a bad thing, but eventually you plan to, and then something in life happens, and then you really can't. You're in a position where you can't afford to get in, right? That would just be as equally detrimental, would it not?
Yeah.
Look at the Fund My Contract rolling. The good news is you wouldn't have a payment for 30 days, okay? And you'd be getting paid. You'd be approved for the whole paid in full amount, okay? So and they'd be as much smaller payments. If that comes through, is that something that you'd be comfortable with?
I'd be more comfortable with it, yeah. But then we go back to what I've been saying. I don't think I can make that decision right now.
Sure, I totally get that. So usually what people tell me, and I'm fine with that because I want to make sure it fits complete alignment with what you need, right?
Yeah.
We mentioned that earlier. You mentioned that as far as confidence in your own self, you felt 100% on board, right?
Mm-hmm.
So are you still 100%? Because if I'm going to be like your coach, right, my goal would be to like, hey, there's a little bit of, to me, it seems like there's a little bit of like, sure, there's nerves, but there's a little bit of like, oh my God, this is on me versus where you're currently at, you're getting paid no matter what, correct?
Yeah.
So do you feel like moving yourself into a position of where it's going to be completely on you makes you really uncomfortable?
Yeah, I mean, because it's like you said, where I'm at now, like I'm getting the for sure payment. It's not close to what I want it to be, but it's stable enough. And, you know, I could always get fired too, so or let go. There's always, you know, risk to everything, right? Nothing's a for sure guaranteed thing, but it is a bit more stable. So yeah.
Sure. So I'm totally comfortable. I'm trying to see if this is going to like load up so we can actually see what you get approved for. That's what I'm curious about. I just want to see what we get approved for. But my question was earlier, I was like, hey, if we can figure something out that makes sense for you, would this been something that you want to move forward with? Now, earlier, it was a yes. So between earlier to now, where has been the slight disconnect?
It's just the amount. I mean, $6,700. You know, I guess just thinking it over a little bit more. It's like I said, it's a bit daunting, man. I mean, I barely have $5,000 to my name. I have a car payment, and I just don't want to get into a deeper hole. And I guess, you know, me saying that sort of exudes a little bit of lack of confidence that I'll actually be able to do this, which you know, there's always that possibility. You know, I try to think of all the possibilities. What if I can't do it? It's yeah, I have to think it over.
I also want you to think about the possibilities of, holy shit, what if I can, right? Like I've got 2 guarantees that I could literally be making more in the first couple of months than I have going in and doing something I absolutely don't enjoy at all. Like I want you to sit back and think for just 2 seconds what that would like to every day wake up and feel fulfilled.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Like think about what that can do for you. Think about how you no longer have to worry about finances again. Like you're helping others. So it's not just about what you're getting, but it's also you're impacting a lot of people that you didn't have the opportunity to help before. So we're creating massive impact.
Mm-hmm.
And I also want you to think about all the things you've already overcome from childhood to now. Like think of all the things that you've done at one point in time that thought like, there's no way I'm getting through this. This shit seems impossible. And then think about where you're at now. So you've already proven yourself that you have receipts. You have a track record of accomplishments.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
I'm gonna share my screen. I'm gonna see if this site is actually running a little faster now.
Okay.
If you want, go ahead and check your email as well and see if this thing is moving a little bit for you.
Okay.
And let's see what we got. Yeah, on my side, it's still running a little slow.
Yeah, same here. It's just nothing's loading. A white page.
Yeah. Okay. While we're waiting, I'm going to go over, I really wanted to see what this would be because I think this would give you exactly what you need. They're on the phone with that side, but I'm going to go over one more option. And it would be called Sweet Pay. So they're a third-party company that we deal with as well. What this allows us to do is spread that 7,500 out over 12 months instead of 6, which means significantly less down, significantly less reoccurring. So as an example, this could be a really good big game changer for you. Okay, so I want you to think of a couple things. One, you got 3K approved through PayPal. Okay, so I'm writing this down, taking notes. So for Sweet Pay, you're going to get approved. You'll get approved for the 7,500. We're going to spread that over 12 months. The minimum down would be 5%. So 5% of that of 7,500 is like 377, 375. Okay, one-time service activation of $59. That is a total today to get going $434. That's it. Okay. Now your monthly payments, you wouldn't have another payment for another 6 weeks. Okay, because we're in the middle of the month. Right. So your monthly payment would be equivalent to about $640 per month, which is equivalent to you needing about 2 clients per month to make that back. So again, a lot less, more doable. But the other thing I want you to think about now is we have the guarantees in place, but we also have a buffer with that 3K in the background. So we don't have to use it, but we have it. So for instance, if you put, let me show you, I'm gonna give you an example of how much this would actually work for you. So 640, yeah. So 640 times 4. So for instance, with your what you got approved through PayPal, we don't got to touch that, but you have 3,000 as a buffer in case you were, for whatever reason, life happens. You said you were worried about something happening. That 3K would cover over 4 monthly payments for you. So literally, that's almost the program itself is 6 months long. So you're in a very safe spot going that direction. Does that down payment comfortable?
You know, I really promised myself not to get into debt again or deeper into it. So unless I have the money, I just don't think I can do it. I'm sorry. And I guess I'm sorry to myself as well. But I did promise myself that I need to be a little bit more financially responsible when it comes to things.
First
Even
of all,
if it's something.
You don't ever have to apologize, man. Like, you came here for knowledge. That's what we're going to give you. You want to know what we're working with. Now, if I'm going to challenge you on that, how are you ever going to dig yourself out of a financial situation if you haven't given yourself the opportunity to do so? So yes, is it a small additional debt, but it's long-term paying off the rest of your debt? Think about that. So if you were to get off the phone, and I'm speaking out of experience, if you were to get off the phone, your hypothalamus is going to tell you every reason why you should not do this.
Yeah.
That's how it's built, to create comfort. So you got to decide what type of person are you going to be, like a leader. So there's certain leaders that will take action based upon where they want to be in their overall vision, where they see themselves. Or there's people that won't take action based upon their current circumstance. Out of those two, which individual do you want to be?
The first one, of course. I definitely do want to take action, but I want to do it responsibly, you know?
So let me ask you a question to that. If you have 2 guarantees locked down, you have a backup payment plan just in case something hard times hit, do you not feel like that's responsible and strategic?
Right at this second, no, I do not.
Okay, so that's cool. I like where we're going with this. Now, can you tell me why?
It's just the commitment, you know. $7,000, $6,700. It's that commitment. That's that number. It's just a number that freaks me out, you know?
Yeah. So I want you to look at this number. $22,500. That's 3 times your investment. There's a guarantee behind that. So if one of your buddies said, hey, my man, I got this foolproof plan. You invest this money into this stock, you're going to 3 times it back. Most of the time, you're going to say yes.
Yeah.
The only difference with this isn't a stock. This is an investment in yourself. And the only way this fails, stocks are unpredictable. But the only way this fails is if you don't finish. So the main word that you just told me was, I'm nervous about the number and the commitment. So if you treat this like a marriage or a full-time job, you're going to get paid like one. If you treat this like a hobby, you're going to get paid like a hobby, right?
Yeah.
So if we're to the point where we're trying to create financial freedom, do you think $7,500 on a payment plan that meets your needs is worth being able to get a return investment of $22,500?
Yeah, that's it's definitely worth it. If you put it in those terms, yeah. Like I said, it's still something I would have to think about.
Yeah, and I want you to. I'm just trying to figure out if this thing's going to get approved so we can see what you have to work with, because it's going to give you a lot more to think about.
Yeah, here in the next few minutes, I do have to get back to work, but I still have a few more minutes.
Cool, man. So what we'll do is what I'm going to do is, you already have the email. I'm going to text you in like 30 minutes and be like, hey, if you get a chance, fill it out just so we have an idea of what's happening.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'm going to set you up with a student that like literally was in a very tough financial position and changed it around. I'm also going to send you over a couple testimonials. Okay.
Okay.
Are you on WhatsApp group chat at all?
Do
you have like a WhatsApp?
I did at some point. I don't have it downloaded right now. I can download it though.
Yeah. Either way, I'll do a 3-way text with your normal number. I'm gonna get you set up with someone to speak to that you can ask even more questions. So for 2 things: 1, it'll give you time to figure out what we're actually getting approved for. 2, it gives you an opportunity to like ask someone else their predicaments and how they got through it. And then 3, it gives me time to send you over a couple testimonials for people that were in a similar financial situation.
Okay.
Is that cool?
That works. Yeah.
And then why don't we follow up? What day works good for you? Let's follow up together.
So Tuesday and Wednesday I work in the office. So sometime on Thursday or Friday for sure would work for me.
Yeah. Do you, what time zone are you in?
CST.
CST, cool.
Central. Yeah.
Would you be open to maybe like 6 p.m. on Thursday?
Yeah, that's perfect. That works.
Does that work?
Yeah.
So in the meantime, that gives us plenty of time to figure out what's going to happen, like what we get approved for. And I'll give you more clarity and really to kind of figure out what's going to work best for you. And I'll also give you an opportunity to talk with more people.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Cool. So shoot me a text later this afternoon to let me know you're either going to get approved for 6 months same as cash or 12 months same as cash. Let me know which one you get approved for, and then kind of figure out of those. You don't have to select something, but you can tell me like which one you think would work best for you, so we have an idea of what we're going to be talking about Thursday. Cool.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, my man. Have an awesome day. We will touch base, dude. I'm excited for you, but you got to be excited as well, my man. We'll get you taken care of.
Sure. Okay, sounds good. Thank you for your time, sir. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Hey, you having a phenomenal day.
Yeah, you too.
All right, man. Later.